Hello, guys, and today I'm going to give you some updates on latest Qubic news, and actually a really exciting and another pivotal week for Qubic. And I think the latest updates I'm going to share, you're just going to see the exciting phases that the project is working through. So let's get into that now. Guys, so I want to begin before I talk about some of the updates. I just wanted to address, some of the things that I've been seeing out there. Maybe I'm generally addressing FUD towards Qubic and Cast, but maybe just today I'll just address a little bit of FUD that I've been seeing towards my channel. It's good FUD. I appreciate it, but it's just worth noting. Well, firstly, this is just some of the kind of biggest FUD that I saw this week on my channel for Qubic and for Zeph, and they just said that they think that Qubic and Zeph are going to be this cycle stag, overhyped and getting dumped on perpetually by the miners. And yeah, I see where this person's coming from. Definitely DAG looked like such an exciting project to me in the past, and still is an exciting project, but a lot of newer projects now seem to have kind of replaced, have advanced what DAG's trying to do, and it never got that pump that we were all expecting. And that could happen to Qubic and Zeph, but I'll say with Zeph it's more likely because Zeph is in a weird sort of regulatory kind of landscape and is struggling for listings and things like that. But if Zeph achieves what it's trying to achieve, it should pump. But I get what this person's coming from. It could get dumped on quite a bit. Then as far as Qubic goes, again, I see what the person's saying here. But the thing that's probably a bit of a misunderstanding is that Qubic should, with burns, level out in terms of every week there's going to be 1 trillion Qubic created, but they're expecting that there'll be about 1 trillion Qubic burned every week, and that should level out. But I don't know how quick that's going to happen, but as I'll explain later in this video, some burns are going to be happening just this week, or at least the IPO for the burns is going to be happening this week, and over the next month or so those burns are going to happen. So Qubic probably it won't suffer from that because it's not going to have an inflationary mechanism. Zeph could, but it always comes down to just supply and demand. Is there more demand than there is supply? And right now for Qubic and Zeph there isn't. That's why the price is going down for both of them. As we get into a bull run, will there be more demand than supply? Who knows? For me, I think Qubic is so marketable. I think that it definitely should, supply should easily demand should easily outstrip supply. With Zeph, I'm not so sure because of those regulatory issues, but who knows? We'll see in time. But yeah, the most important thing to note is Qubic, if it does and works the way it's supposed to, there's no guarantees in that, but if it does, then it shouldn't be an inflating supply. So but what this person's talking about shouldn't be an issue for Qubic, but we'll see in time. Then just two kind of comments that I know. So this person, I think quite a friendly comment, just saying that my whole YouTube channel is based on 2 coins. Definitely I've been focusing on 2 coins lately, which are Cast and Qubic. And I'm interested in maybe expanding into making some videos about Tau, but I just haven't really got around to it. But then you'll notice I've made videos about Zeph, Space, NMT, Dynex, Render. I have made videos about Tau before. I've released some about XRP as well. I did one on Bitcoin. There's probably some that I'm forgetting as well. Metal I did as well. The only issue is that, firstly, Qubic and Cast are the ones that I just feel so certain about. Especially, I think Cast is just almost a certainty to increase in value a lot from here. And Qubic, I think, is a bit more risky, but I also think it's a pretty safe bet to increase in value. So that's why I talk about those 2 cryptos the most, because I've got the highest conviction on them, and they're the ones that I want to share with people watching, because I don't want to be sharing rubbish with people or things that I'm not too sure of. The second reason that I talk about Cast and Qubic comes down to just the views that I get. So when I make a video about another crypto project, generally I'm lucky if I get 200 or 300 views. But when I make a video on Qubic or Cast, I'll generally get at least a thousand views. And then as you can see, just in general, this is what I've made in the last month since I got monetized on YouTube. I'm not making a lot out of the channel. I'm not making that. I haven't got an unbelievable amount of views either, but for the number of views I have, I'm not earning a lot. So it's not really worthwhile from the point of view of the time that I put into one of these videos to even make them. I'm doing it mainly as a hobby right now, and it's great to be earning something. But my whole thesis is that I believe in casting Qubic so much that I want to become a channel that's seen as, a knowledge base on both these projects. And then as the projects grow, I'm hoping my channel will grow. And I spend most of my day looking up about these projects, in my spare time, because they're a hobby of mine. So I've got a lot of information about those projects, but a lot of other projects, I've only, I haven't got the whole repertoire of information about them. And it's really hard to find the time to explore a new project properly and share it with people and say, hey, this is a good project, you should invest in it. Like, that could be 20, 30 hours of work to be really focused on learning on a project. While casting Qubic, now I'm following proper accounts, I'm into the Discords, and I'm probably still spending about 20 hours a week just looking at those projects. And then to make one of these videos, it's probably taking me 2 or 3 hours to make a video. So that's why I'm focusing specifically on those projects. And then this person, Dave, here just commented that I was thinking you were going to cover things generally, but like most crypto YouTubers, you're just pumping Casper Qubic bags that you own. And then someone commented here that they think that I'm getting paid to make videos in casting Qubic. So firstly, to get paid for casting Qubic, they're fair large projects. So there's, I don't know who would pay me or who would pay me enough to nearly employ me to make these videos. I'd love to get paid to make videos in these projects because I believe in them. I have high conviction in them. If I got paid at the same time, that'd be great. But I've never taken a payment to make a video about any project. And outside of casting Qubic, I'd never be interested in maybe Tau. I don't know, interested in getting someone to pay me. But I'd instantly be saying it on my videos if I was getting paid. And the minute that I don't believe in these projects, I'm going to be coming onto my channel and sharing that with you, and I'll get lots of views as well. If I say this is why I don't believe in these projects anymore, I'll be sharing with you. But the thing is, when you think who would pay me, I've got such a small channel, this is how many views that I'm getting per month. It's not worth paying me to talk about these cryptos. And one other thing is, there's some affiliate products, I'm going to do probably some cold storage, something like that. I'll promote that as an affiliate. And then crypto tax platforms, I might start promoting those as an affiliate, but I'll share with you that these are paid promotions that I'm doing when I decide to get around to doing that. But yeah, I'm not promoting these for getting paid. I promise you, if you knew me, you'd know that. But I'm not insulted by that, because obviously these people don't know me. And then with this person, I think I kind of addressed what they're saying here. Is the reason I'm talking about casting Qubic is because I believe in the projects. There's no point in me talking about just random general projects unless I completely believe in them. So I'm talking about the projects that I believe in and that I find most interesting and I read about. And I think most people that are subscribed to my channel are watching my videos want to learn about casting Qubic and keep up to date with what's going on. So I'm just viewing myself as a news reporter on those cryptos mainly, and from time to time I'll throw in another video about another project that I might find, even though that video will probably earn me $1 for probably 6 or 7 hours work. So that's why I'm focusing on that. I do take issue with people saying that I'm just pumping casting Qubic bags that I own. I mean, it's silly. Look how small my channel is. I'm not pumping. There's when I put out a video, it doesn't pump or dump the projects. I don't have that reach or strength. Maybe someday I will, and I hope I do, but I still, if you knew me, you'd know that I'm not the type of person that's into pumping projects. I just believe in these two projects, Casper and Qubic, and I think that they're strong projects. That doesn't mean they're guaranteed to win. I'm not a genius or anything, but I just think that they're projects that you could still get into quite early, and they should perform well. So right, next on to the Qubic news. So this is a really pivotal week for Qubic, and I just shared this on Twitter just there now. So the QX user interface is launching. So a lot of people, QX launched over a month ago, and a lot of people have been asking, well, where is it? We can't find it. And the reason you can't find it is because it's just a command line interface thing that you can access. So it's not user friendly. But the QX user interface is launching. Now, I don't know for certain is it going to launch this week, because they're working on some bug issues. Things generally don't seem to work out that it just happens overnight. But in the next few weeks anyway, it'll definitely be launching. And that should be an easy to use user interface. Q Silver, as you can see down here, just said interface is built. So they've actually built the interface. We just need more testers to find the bugs, which we can fix as soon as we can, usually a day or two. Already things are much improved, and Android is fast approaching beta release status. So the user interface is really close. And what that's going to do is it's going to make QX, so QX being the decentralized trading platform built in Qubic. Remember, CAS doesn't have a decentralized trading platform built on it yet. I'm not dissing CAS. I love CAS. I'm just saying that Qubic is really ahead of the game here. So it's really progressing very quick. But QX, this will make QX accessible and easy to use for everyone. This will create more use cases on the Qubic network and should, over time, lead to supply burns. And then we've also this week got the CFB meme token launch. And this is the first meme token launch on the Qubic network. And to my knowledge, the second token after QWall, which is the QX token. Hopefully this token will be successful and will create more buzz around Qubic. So again, really big deal. There are, as you can see, several tokens now getting launched on the Qubic network. And a CFB as the first meme is successful is going to bring a lot more eyes to the Qubic network and should help this ecosystem take off. And then the My Last Match IPO is happening this week. So the IPO for the Qubic game called My Last Match, which is the first computer game to be launched on Qubic, takes place this week. The previous IPO burned 10.5 trillion Qubic. If this one is anywhere near that, we should see a Qubic price increase overnight. So basically what I'm saying there is that previous IPOs that have happened, so an IPO is anytime something launches on the Qubic network, they have an IPO first. And with that IPO, people can give their Qubic and they earn something in return, like passive income. I'm not sure the details of how it works, but I know that the previous one, which I believe was for QX, burnt 10.5 trillion Qubic. Now, will my last match hit those heights? I don't know, but anything is a good burn for the network. And if these tokens are just being burnt overnight, well, that means the supply is going to reduce drastically overnight, which is going to increase the price of Qubic. So let's see how that goes. But that's a really interesting one, and it's great to see a game being launched on the Qubic network. And then computers update RAM from 250 gigabytes to 500 gigabytes. So the computers are doubling their RAM. And as far as I understand, not being the most technical person, this just improves the efficiency of the Qubic network. And that's my biggest understanding of that. And the most important point here is that I say at the end, all of the above shows continuous growth and improvement on the Qubic network. This project is building out an ecosystem before our eyes. And that is the really big deal. There's constantly things going on the Qubic network. I mean, they're launching their DEX, or launched their DEX and launching its user interface now. They've launched 2 tokens on it, or basically have launched those 2 tokens by now. They're launching a computer game, and there's just continuous development happening here. And this, for week and week, sometimes you feel like things aren't happening. But if you just zoom out and look at what's happened on the Qubic network since the start of the year, so much progression has happened, and you can only imagine what it's going to be like for the end of the year. And with an ecosystem growing out, it can only be positive for the price of Qubic. You would imagine, there's no guarantees, but you would imagine that. So then the Silver Ape just said the next Qubic IPO for the MLM game is coming in the next week's Epoch. CFB is directly involved and works together with the developers of the Wicked Days, which is a game that already exists, to bring this survival post-apocalyptic game with PvP, player versus player game on the Qubic network. 676 shares for grabs. So that's just again about the IPO, but it's a big deal that the developers that are working on this game have brought out good games before. So this isn't going to be just some run-of-the-mill game. It should be a good game that's brought out the Qubic network, and it's going to be bringing more industry to the network. And then this person commented and said, wow, I hope it compares to Paracosm. That was top-level delivery from Come From Beyond. Definitely not half-arsed, half-delivered vaporware. And then Come From Beyond said, this is a part of the Paracosm project. Several years ago, we had a sale of Paracosm-related items, and those who bought items issued by my company 10x their investment. So Paracosm is a way bigger ecosystem thing that Sergey Ivancheglo is working on. I don't know the details of it, but basically, when this guy does something, he does it right. Is the way to look at this, and he has been working on this project as well and been directly involved in it, and he has a background in computer game development. And then just another thing to note: this guy Luke just said, "Why is a game the priority instead of showcasing real world use case?" And then Come From Beyond commented, there is no priority queue. There are a lot of streams going forward simultaneously in different areas. Big deal to note that as well. There's a lot of people developing on the Qubic network right now, and everything on the Qubic network is moving at a fast pace. So this game isn't a priority. It's just one branch of all the things that are being worked on right now. So for example, then, Andy Q's just another developer that's working here, said the Qubic wallet update has been updated to version 4.2 and displays the second since the last tick change, and the browser language is only used as a language at default. So anyway, basically he's talking about how the wallet's been updated, and it's just been updated on a weekly basis now. And then just this person was commenting, just saying, does anyone remember any project that Come From Beyond worked on that failed miserably? So no, me neither. Really interesting point to know as well. Every project that this guy here works on has been successful so far. And then Come From Beyond just made a comment themselves. They said 3 main problems Aigarth will face: no experts understanding how AIs develop themselves, AI industry invested into GPUs and will resist adoption of a new paradigm, and then long accumulation of mining power for a next breakthrough. That will be an uphill battle, just as I like. So this is just he's kind of talking about resistance from the industry is going to be a big issue. People not understanding how the AIs are developing or what Qubic and Aigarth are actually working on. Also saying that he doesn't know whether the AI industry is going to want to shift from the path that they're going down right now to a new paradigm, which is a completely different path that Aigarth is going down. And then they need more and more mining power, and that's going to be the next step, is getting more mining power and making it actually valuable to more and more valuable to mine Qubic, to attract more miners and get more compute power. So that's mainly what Sergey's talking about here. Then he just said, several months ago I predicted that Qubic would probably never reach 100 trillion supply. In a week, my last match is going to be IPO'd right when the supply is about to reach the 100 trillion mark. The moment was chosen specially to get maximum feeling of suspense. So he's basically just talking about his prediction that Qubic won't cross that 100 trillion supply amount. Now, he has said that it could hit 110 or something like that, but it's always going to range around that 100 trillion mark. So he's kind of playing with us a bit there. Let's see what's going to continue the burns. Is it going to be continuous smart contracts that continue the burns and keep the supply down? Time will tell. Then Come From Beyond just said, he was talking then, responding here to some of the things that ChatGPT has been working on. Said, looks like chasing own tail, assuming the ultimate goal is true artificial intelligence. Maybe it's time to accept that humans who don't understand their own brain mechanism is the main limiting factor and should not dictate what the architecture the AI wants to be embodied in. And then someone just said, in that case, how would you guarantee that Aigarth will ask the right questions? If it missed a question, then won't that mean that the trained model will be missing knowledge? And he said, we cannot guarantee, we don't and won't understand how AI thinks. And he's basically saying here, Sergey Ivancheglo, he's basically referring to the fact that he feels like true AI is going to emerge from Aigarth rather than be programmed into it. And we're not really going to understand how that happens, and we just have to let Aigarth do its thing and let it build out those artificial neural networks and watch this artificial intelligence emerge. And then Eric Fung just said, Intel, in partnership with the Argonne National Laboratory and Hewlett-Packard Enterprise, has claimed its Aurora supercomputer broke the exascale barrier at 1.012 exaflops, and additionally became the fastest AI system in the world dedicated to AI for open science by achieving 10.6 AI exaflops. Designed from the ground up for AI research, Aurora comprises 10,624 compute blades, just so on, a lot of details here. He just ended by saying, though, just to say our Qubic AI network linked together through bare metal tech has more than 550,000 CPUs. In this sense, it is more powerful than this Intel computer. So he's basically saying that, Microsoft has announced that they've created a super powerful computer, but Qubic's decentralized computer is actually more powerful already than Microsoft's. So just really interesting to read that. Then Come From Beyond just said, again, he's talking about ChatGPT here. He said, it looks like a calculator with a voice reader for visually impaired, which has decided to write text down instead of speaking it. Ask ChatGPT to describe the formula of Coulomb's law, but use letters from Newton's law of gravitation and ask if two objects can push each other. And then this person just commented and said, how would Aigarth answer that question? And then he, Come From Beyond, made the point and outlined what Aigarth actually is. And he said, Aigarth isn't an AI, it's a project aiming to develop a new paradigm allowing to create true AIs. And the AI created with Aigarth is supposed to behave like a natural intelligence, so it would ask questions to get better understanding of the task, and it wouldn't hallucinate like ChatGPT. So again, he's talking about ChatGPT is a clever system, but it's not intelligent. And what they're trying to create through Aigarth, Aigarth, you call it like the factory floor, and then what it produces are AIs, and AIs at an ever-expanding rate of intelligence, and then those truly intelligent ones should be able to think logically and ask, and artistically and uniquely, and be able to ask true questions to find answers. So that's where his head's at and what he expects. He expects for the development of Qubic. That, guys, is all I have for you today. It's going to be an exciting week for Qubic and see how things develop. So I will see you all on the outside.